To the people of Texas. Adjutant-General's Office, Austin, September 4, 1861. The Secretary of War of the Confederate States has requested the state executive to have made up at an early day a large quantity of woolen clothing to supply the wants of the Army, to be charged to the Confederate Government. The Medical Perveyor has also asked aid from the executive to a plan to procure blankets for the sick and wounded of the Army. He suggests very wisely that almost every family, with little or no inconvenience to itself, can contribute a blanket or comfortable to his department. Warmly approving these suggestions, the executive issued his address of the 31st, inviting the formation in every county in the state of a society or committee to solicit and receive heavy clothing, blankets, comfortables, and other articles which will be needed by our Army during the coming winter. The military stores thus furnished will be paid for in the bonds of the Confederate States. To effectuate this plan, depots will be established at central points under the superintendence of the following agents, viz. At Jefferson, W. P. Sofaloy; at Henderson, J. H. Parsons; at Palestine, John E. Cravens; at Dallas, Dr. Samuel Pryor; at Sherman, W. E. Sanders; at Waco, J. W. Spate; at Austin, W. H. D. Carrington; at San Antonio, Vance and Brothers; at Victoria, William S. Glass; at Houston, E. W. Taylor; at Beaumont, John J. Herring. They will receive and forward to the proper destination the contributions of the county associations and of the citizens generally, and, whenever necessary, may furnish transportation and incur other expenses growing properly out of the discharge of their duties on the faith and credit of the Confederate States. The state itself will sustain that credit to the utmost limit of its resources. All valid accounts for military stores thus furnished or otherwise contracted by each agent in the discharge of his duties will be certified by him to this office, where the same will be examined, approved, and registered. The county societies will forward their contributions to the agents at most convenient or accessible depots. Each of the agents at Henderson, Palestine, Dallas, Sherman, Waco, Austin, San Antonio, and Victoria will forward his collections to the most accessible depot either at Jefferson, Houston, or Beaumont, directed to the agent at that point. General depots will be established at the latter points, from which the military stores thus accumulated will be transported or distributed under the directions of the President of the Confederate States. The agents designated for these purposes will also receive contributions from the county associations, private individuals, or any other quarter. The state executive has received assurances from the managers of the different railroad companies in Texas that they will transport troops and military stores intended for the defense of the country free of charge. To give vigor, efficiency, and life to this plan, the great body of our citizens must lend to it their persevering and active labors. No appeal can be necessary to arouse them to early and efficient action to prevent a frequent reoccurrence among the brave youth whom we have sent from our mild climate to Virginia and Missouri of the horrors of Valley Forge. No time should be lost. Winter will soon be upon them. William Byrd, Adjutant-General. About the author. William Byrd was born at Cottage Farm, Clark County, Virginia, on September 9, 1828. He graduated from Virginia Military Institute on July 4, 1849, and afterward took a degree in law at the University of Virginia. By March 1853, he was practicing law in the Travis County, Texas. In August 1854, Byrd moved to Austin, where he was elected city treasurer, and in 1857 ran unsuccessfully for the state legislature. On September 12, 1859, Byrd married Jenny Rivers of Colorado, Texas. In November 1860, Byrd became editor of the Texas State Gazette, and in its pages in December called for a secession convention in Texas. He was appointed Adjutant-General by Governor Edward Clark on May 11, 1861, and was responsible for putting the Confederate State of Texas on a war footing. In a series of general orders, he provided for the recruiting of 11,000 volunteers into infantry companies. Byrd oversaw the formation of the new companies into battalions, regiments, and brigades at 11 new camps of instruction in various parts of the state. Each camp was to accommodate 1,000 recruits for a period of 40 days, beginning on July 2nd, and was to be voluntarily supplied with food by the local citizens. Boyd served for a time as state ordnance officer during the fall of 1861 before being elected on November 26, 1861, as lieutenant colonel of Colonel Edward Clark's 14th Texas Infantry. On March 14, 1864, he was surrounded by Union troops and taken by bombardment and assault. Byrd was at first reported killed, but was in fact taken prisoner. He was exchanged at Red River Landing, Louisiana, on July 22, 1864, returned to his regiment, and was stationed at Hempstead at the war's end. Thereafter, he returned to Winchester, Virginia, to practice law. He died in May of 1898. Thank you for stopping by, Lady Carrie Ann. Please subscribe, like, and share. Count your many blessings every single day.